But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field, just south of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round. Standing 6'5", it's Josh Allen.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 40. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait till the season's over, but he has really tried.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gator. See it.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. On the defensive side, this is the starting lineup for the Bills. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typically what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 79 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points. One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And that is incomplete. had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 15 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch, because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Back to throw, Alonso. And it's caught by Parker. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come up in an offset eye. Looking to throw. Alonso. Parker unable to get that one. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. This is brought in at the 21. 21 yards. Well done on the return.
Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open. And it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On the handoff, this is Breida. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2nd and 5. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. They'll run on first down with Singletary. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Allen going to throw. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
This is Gordon, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. This is Butler making the catch. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
That's how we do it, baby.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. And this is Parker, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Let's go.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Alonso. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 4. That is caught at the 7. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Here's Allen. That's complete to Butler.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before half for Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Duncan. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get things started in the Meadowlands. An AFC battle as Houston is in town to take on New York. And it's the Jets who have the lead in the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Breida to get the third quarter started. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw. Alonso. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Open man completes it to Butler. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff left side to Breida. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
To throw on 3rd down. Alonso. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Back to throw. Alonso. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Alonso. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for Parker that time. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Open man, Butler complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throw left side complete. That's Duncan. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Singletary, they'll run for it. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it? Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. It's a gain of 5. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the first down sack. Allen, Raekwon McMillan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Allen, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground, and 4th down now coming up. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Parker the intended target. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now Allen got his man complete over the middle. It's Duncan. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Allen, middle of the field, he's got Butler. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Hakeem Butler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills turn that interception into a touchdown. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They run again with Breida. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he's out meeting with his running backs every year.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Allen. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. On 1st down, Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Squeeze, get in there.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff working right. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Dolphins, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6 and